Wait. I'll teach you how to lubricate the cube. Hey guys, this is Artham Masta from Cubelelo, and this is a video on how to lubricate your cube. If you have been part of the cubing community, whether online or offline, you must have heard of the term lubing. Lubing is slang for lubricating. The reason for lubricating is to make it feel and turn the way you want it to. That may be fast, smooth or slow. So now that we know what lubing is and why we do it, let's move on to learn how to actually lubricate a speed cube. In this video, we'll be using a 3x3, but the basics are the same for bigger cubes as well. How many types of lubes are there? Well, we get this question a lot. It's really easy to get confused after seeing the weight 1 to weight 5 symbols or the viscosity levels in your lube box. But it's really very easy to understand. Let's go one by one. Weight 1 lubes like these have the lowest viscosity. Low viscosity lubes perform best when applied to the pieces. Weight 1 lubes are not as long lasting as the higher viscosity lubes, but they make the cube much faster. They are watery and hence provide the speed to the cube. Weight 2 lubes like these also perform best when applied to the pieces, but they don't provide the same speed as you'd get from a weight 1 lube. These lubes are best if you want your cube to be smooth but not out of control. Weight 3 lubes like these can be applied on both the pieces and the core. Applying this lube on the pieces will make the cube even slower than the weight 2 lubricants. Make sure to apply a really small amount to avoid making the cube gummy. Weight 4 lubricants like these are meant to be used on the core only. They provide stability and smoothness to the core. As you keep increasing the viscosity, the long-lasting effect increases. Weight 5 lubricants like these are the thickest. They are meant to be used on the core only. Using these on the pieces will make the cube really gummy. Now that we've gotten a slight idea of what type of lubricants we get on the market, let's move on to the next section. Where to get your lube from? If you're in India, there's no better place to buy cube lubricants than Cubelelo. You can visit our website, go over to the accessories section and click on Cube Lubricants. There are a bunch of options for you to choose from. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, so now that we've figured out where to buy the lube from, the main question is which lube to buy. Well, as we've seen in this video, there are different types of lubricants. There are really viscous lubricants that are thick and dense. They slow your cube down and make it more stable. Other kinds of lubricants includes one that are really watery and aren't very viscous. They make your cube really fast but tend to die down with use much faster than the heavy lubricants. There are a lot of lubricants which fall in between these two categories as well. So all in all, I'd say buy a thick lube for the core and buy a simple watery lube for the pieces. But this part is completely up to you. If you want it more stable and slower, use heavier lubricants on the pieces like weight 2 or weight 3 ones. My recommendation is to check out the Cubelelo premium lubricants. They have all the kinds of lubricants from watery to viscous to in between both. If you're in a competition environment, just put in 2 drops of any thin water-based lube and you're good to go. In competition environments, there isn't enough time and space to get to cleaning the cube and then lubricating the core and pieces. Moreover, if you apply thicker lube on the pieces in a competition scenario, it'll take a lot more salts to break the lube in and spread it evenly across the cube. If you're at home, do this. Disassemble your cube, wipe down all the gunk and make the cube really clean and dry. I'd recommend disassembling the core as well and cleaning it as well. Now that you have all the pieces apart, start with the core. There are 2 types of cores nowadays. One using springs and the other using the maglev technology that we have seen so much of in the recent cube releases. If you have a maglev cube, just apply a little bit of weight 5 lubricant on the screw and attach it back to the core. Reassemble the magnetic core and then apply lube to the pieces. We'll discuss lubing the pieces later in this video, so make sure you stick around. If you have a spring and screw on your core, start by applying a small amount of thick and viscous lubricant on the screw and then put the spring in and attach it back to the core. Do the same with all the center pieces and attach them all to the core. After having all of them attached, You can tighten them up, but make sure to not make it too tight because we need to reassemble our cube as well. Also, make sure that all the sides are evenly tensioned. After that, assemble your cube back. While assembling your cube, you may apply some medium viscosity lube on 1 or 2 edge pieces. It's just trial and error. You just need to figure out what works best for you. I usually skip this step because I don't like my cube to be on the gummy side. After assembling the cube, I put in 2 to 3 drops of thin and watery lube to make the cube faster. Again, this is my personal preference. You might also skip the core lubrication if you don't prefer to do it. Just try lubricating your cube in different ways each time and figure out what works best for you. So that's it for this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any doubts or questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Like the video and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on to get updated for future videos. Thanks for watching and happy cubing.